What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fann of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. He's Michael D'Arcy of KC Sports Report, and we might be seeing a little bit of a different version of Travis Kelce in 2025. We're going to talk about why right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another video on my channel. Today, I am joined by my good friend Michael D'Arcy of KC Sports Report, and we're going to be talking about more Travis Kelce quotes. We just recorded a video right before this talking about whether or not Travis Kelce may play beyond this season, but Travis Kelce also did talk a little bit about this upcoming season and what that might look like for him. So the first quote, and this is from Starcade Media, quoting Travis Kelce saying, "First of all, I never said that I lost 25 pounds because there were reports going around of how much weight Travis Kelce lost this offseason. He said, don't believe all you read on the internet." He says, half jokingly, "I'm down some weight from the end of last year, feeling good." And then there was another quote on top of that, but from Ian Rappaport, discussing Travis Kelce, saying, "Once he decided to come back, this is a guy who was clearly all in. When it became clear that he was playing, he was busy making his plans to start grinding and getting back to the Kelce that he needs to be effective on the field." Now, Michael, I think this is all music to Chiefs fans' ears because I think the last performance that we saw from Travis Kelce in that Super Bowl to end the season left a little bit of a sour taste in all of our mouths. Travis Kelce just did not seem to be in that game from the very beginning. There were a couple clips floating around of some plays where it looked like his effort might not even be totally there. Now, I'm not going to question Travis Kelce's effort totally just because, that guy has been through a lot. He's been a massively successful player. He's done a lot for this franchise. And I just don't want to get into all that. But I do think a lot of us agree that Travis Kelce probably needed to do a little bit more this offseason than he's been doing in the off seasons prior, more to prepare for the upcoming season because of his age, because he's not as quick as he used to be. He does seem to have lost a step. I think that was especially evident last year. Really, it's been developing over the past couple of years. But, Michael, are you encouraged by Travis Kelce supposedly getting back into shape this offseason in a way that allows him to be the most effective version of himself?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I think is important to note is that Travis Kelce didn't need to be down 25 pounds. And 25 pounds for Travis Kelce is a lot. Like if Josh Simmons lost 25 pounds, it's a lot. But when you weigh 360, I guess he's not 360, but when you weigh over 300 pounds, losing 25 pounds in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot, but it's not, what it would be to Travis Kelce. But you clearly saw he's slimmer. I think that's going to help him stay, more conditioned, more healthy during the season. And one of the things that I said is that you can't turn back Father Time, but if Travis Kelce lost even 15 pounds, he might be even a half a step quicker. Mm-hmm. And that is going to help him on the football field.
Yeah, and I think, some people will be concerned about the durability from shedding all that weight because you do need some of that body fat just to absorb hits. He's a tight end. But I think Travis Kelce has already shown to be durable throughout his career. And I think at this point you have to weigh what's more valuable, the durability of Travis Kelce or the effectiveness of Travis Kelce. And I do think they missed his effectiveness last year, at least late in the season, and that conditioning factor. It wasn't a matter of him being available, but it was just, hey, Travis, we really need you in this game. The offense needs you. Injuries have arisen this year. And I do think also something that will kind of ease the injury concern. And we talked about this in the last video we just did, but the Chiefs have done enough on offense this offseason. I think that Travis Kelce doesn't need to be playing really anywhere close to more than half the snaps.
No. And that's the thing. I think he had 97 receptions last year.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't even get close to that. Give him, 60 or 70 and let's call it a day. If Rashee Rice is as good as advertised. If Xavier Worthy's going to get better, if Jalen Royals has a role, if Hollywood Brown stays healthy, Travis Kelce should only be really used on like third downs and maybe in the red zone. Like, you don't need to use him on first down unless you need like a spark for your offense. But you
Sure,
can
like
have him out
obviously
there.
he can still be out there on third down, those third and longs where that connection between him and Mahomes is dangerous enough to get you that first down, and just having someone that's always going to be open, because I still think even at this stage in his career, Travis Kelce is someone that just finds a way to get open. Maybe didn't do it as much last year because, again, we talked about some of the conditioning and the loss of speed. But if he lost just a little bit of weight, I think, like you said, if he's half a step quicker, you'll still see him be that guy that can get open pretty much anytime he wants to.
When we act like Travis Kelce wasn't productive last year, he might not have had 1,000 yards, but he was just under it. And for a guy that's 35 years old, like, you got to kind of give him his props. And this year, if he comes in and gets, fewer targets, fewer receptions, but can give you 700 yards, I'd sign up for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, again, because you mentioned it wasn't that he was unproductive, but I think, again, when you look at that end of the season, didn't really do too much in the Bills playoff game, didn't really do anything in the Super Bowl. And there was another quote he had where he talked about how, he feels like he let the team down. And I think that did motivate him to go out and maybe get a little bit healthier so that he can be there for the duration of the entire season.
Yeah. Cause like, what does it mean if you're going to, come back and really not put all your effort into it, and then you get hurt and then your season's over? And then, like, Travis Kelce's not the kind of guy to go out, without a fight. And I think that, putting himself in this position by shedding the weight is going to make him better in 2025.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But my final question for you, Michael, for this video is, what kind of stat line could we see for Travis Kelce in 2025? How big of a factor will he be? I want to hear from you first, and then I'll go ahead and give my take.
I think, as much as I don't want him to have 100 catches, I think he'll probably be still around like the 80 to 85 catches. I'll give him. It's interesting because we talked about it in the previous video. Do you think that he's got one more season? Like, I kind of am viewing this as it might be his last season. And if it's his last season, he might go all out knowing that, this game could be his last.
Yeah.
And so maybe he does crack the 1,000-yard mark. It's kind of hard to say. I feel pretty comfortable penciling him in for almost a guaranteed 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. I feel pretty confident with that.
I like the answer, and I like that you included, the points of, if this is his last season, because I think that's important. He may go all out if in his mind this is his last season. Although it could be dependent on how he plays, but that's a whole nother conversation. I feel like today he is a guy that's going to give us 650 to 750 yards, red zone threat, probably like 5-6 touchdowns. And I think you're going to see that he's not going to be as big of a factor throughout the game, but he's going to have more moments this year, I think, like 1 or 2 big catches in most of the games where it's like, yeah, Travis Kelce still got it. He's doing enough to help us win this game, showing that he's still a threat to the defense. But I don't think you'll see too many games where like 8 or 9 catches come in one game and he has 130 yards. But I think he's going to give you those moments that show he's still got it. And I think you're still going to feel the effectiveness just as much as if he had 1,000 yards.
So do you think he's got like 3 or 4 vintage Kelce games, or is it kind of just like maybe he's got like 2 or 3 and we got to save it?
Well, it depends on what you consider a vintage game. Cause like, I don't think he's going to be someone that has a bunch of games where he goes over 100 yards, which is what some might consider to be a vintage Kelce game. I think he's more so a guy that's going to give us those individual vintage Kelce moments within a given game. But you're going to see more of those this year than we saw last year, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. He's going to show that he's still a threat to the defense, but he's going to save his best, I think, for the end of the season.
When Josh, maybe he is better with 3 great wide receivers kind of carrying more of the load.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that should be the hope for this year. And if that's the case, then I think the Chiefs offseason went according to plan. But guys, I think that's all we got for this video. What are your expectations for Travis Kelce, supposedly rejuvenated Travis Kelce in 2025? Let us know down in the comments below. With all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com. Follow me on Twitter, showmefb. And then before we go, Michael, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. You can also check out some of the work that I've done on Sports Radio 810 weeknights on Inside the Pocket with Cobell Hudson. And until then, that's all I got.
There you guys have it. That'll all be in the description down below. That's all we got for this one. As I said, guys, we'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.